Hey, what's good with y'all boys, man? Today we're gonna be watching King Azule, TikTok alpha male to predator. I know this nigga because the Ali. I know you're a nice guy. That shit. Let's check this nigga out.
Ben
And plus, I see that
Azule,
nigga on IG
also
Reels all
known
the
as
time.
King Azule, is many things. A fake tough guy, an Andrew Tate wannabe, and a man with an extremely predatory past. But none of that is how Ben would have you see him. Because above all else, Ben Azule is a liar.
I've been in battles, I've been in war, and now I'm here.
I don't get it, my nigga. Like, how are you going this long with this bullshit poppycock story you be
I've had
making up?
motorcycle accidents, car accidents.
I'm not gonna mention his name, but we're talking somebody from the mob.
So the one thing that they got me for was fighting really bad in the middle of the street, and it was horrible. It was really bad. Some guy really got hurt.
And this nigga talk like he telling a story. How can I explain this for niggas can get the same picture I picture? He's talking as if he has a wire on this, as if he's being monitored, my nigga. Everything he says, he cannot speak in specifics.
I was 13 years old. I got jumped by about 30 guys outside of a house party.
I got her brand new eyesight. I paid for her to get her eyesight back.
You hear what I'm saying? Like, this nigga sound like he's reading a document from a court case.
We know very little about the true nature of Ben Azule's childhood and early life. Now, that's not to say he hasn't told us a lot of stories. Many of you may have seen this guy on a number of social media platforms being lambasted for his outlandish lies, from being an amazing fighter to an even better businessman. And these lies can vary from innocent stuff to horrible acts.
Well, nigga, what makes you just want to hop on the internet and just bullshit like this? Like, and it's so many stories that you know is bullshit. Like, if he was not lying, this nigga would be alive for at least 2,000 years, nigga.
That Ben has committed in his past. Like I just said, we know very little about the truth surrounding Ben's early life, so where our story begins today is around 2022, when Ben was an amateur bodybuilder, as well as making an earnest attempt to start a fitness social media career. Ben was, of course, a fake natty, and for quite some time seemed unwilling to discuss his performance enhancer usage. But these kinds of lies and scams are peanuts compared to what he would get up to in the future. This fitness influencer phase wouldn't last for long, because 2022 also witnessed the viral explosion of Andrew Tate, along with the many copycats.
And all this nigga did was like, damn, this nigga making hella bread from acting like this. Let me just bullshit and poppycock all day and get some militia going.
It goes without saying, but Ben Azule would be one of them. Andrew Tate is a man that deserves a video of his own, but a short summary for those that aren't in the know: he was a viral fitness and motivational influencer from the early 2020s. I don't really know if I could call it motivation, because he would just insult people about being broke, ugly, and not fit. His supporters kind of remind me of those people that pay women to humiliate them. It's like the thing they like, except these people would do it
Massachusetts, some shit like that.
the man. I can't judge them too hard because he was a viral sensation at the time, but eventually Andrew would be accused of trafficking and even sent to prison for it.
Hey, and can we talk about this? For some reason, niggas just let that shit blow away. Like, niggas just hang out with that nigga after trafficking charges.
Now, why am I telling all of you this in a King Azule video? Well, it's because Ben would model his entire image in the years to come around Andrew Tate. Ben would start to produce videos and podcasts geared around clip farming, basically just breaking them up into YouTube shorts to try and hit the algorithm of this alpha male wave. But during these podcasts, Ben would just lie through his teeth, and by far the most viral of these lies has been his fight stories, because in every single one of these videos and podcasts, Ben would paint himself as some kind of mythical warrior, capable of fighting dozens of people.
He's so creative with that bullshit, you know it's bullshit. Like, bro, when I was 13 years old, I got jumped by 40 guys because I walked up to the park and I seen this young lady. And I thought, hello, young lady, you are beautiful. and they came out of nowhere and tried to jump me and beat me up. But I used my secret karate I studied for 30 years. Some bullshit like that.
Time.
And I continued with my martial arts skills. I went into all types of martial arts, from Kung Fu to Muay Thai to
Nigga, I know I did not just say, bro.
kickboxing to Krav Maga. And I left Taekwondo. It wasn't for me because
I know you bullshitting. You said you did Krav Maga? Fuck out of here.
anytime we would spar and I'd kick somebody a little bit too hard, you know, and get in trouble. So, and I wanted to test my limits. But as I got older, you know, I went to different schools and I got kicked out of multiple schools because fighting was my go-to. If somebody talked bad about me or kids wanted to pick on me, I tell them, let's fight. But I always fought the guys who were the bullies. In school, my friends were, I had a friend that was mentally challenged. I had 2 friends that were in wheelchair. I had a friend that was a midget.
Motherfucker, you was friend with Joe, what's that nigga name? Joe from Family Guy and Lieutenant Dan, nigga? And fucking Gump? Who the fuck do you know?
You know, and I was protecting them. And at the age of 15, I dropped out of high school. There was no need for me to stay in high school. I went to Grant High School. We had a police station in the school. And one day, there
You had a police station in the school, nigga?
was 5
Police in the
Mexican
school?
dudes trying to jump me in the bathroom. I beat the shit out of them. I left one of them with his head in the toilet. When I left school, the following day, I came back. As I was leaving school, they came and they started shooting at me. So, you know, it started getting more violent.
So already I'm sure you can see what I'm talking about here. Ben claims that he was this great protector towards the weak and innocent in his high school. But
I just don't
really
believe that,
doubt
bro.
it
You're
because
roided
he
up, bro.
doesn't even know that people with dwarfism prefer to be called little people. It's also worth mentioning that Ben makes a lot of these stories about race. Just wait until we get to the prison segment. It doesn't really lead to anything, but I find it interesting because all
You
of
can't
these
trust no grown ass man hitting the hookah in a hot tub. That's too much H in a sentence. Hookah in a hot tub. Come on, bro.
stories are so obviously fake, except for this one where he talks about how his father hit him. I believe that one.
So for me, looking back and thinking about the stories that I had with my dad, and my dad was a very tough guy. I mean, I'd wake up in the morning, you know, with kicks to the head. My dad wasn't no martial artist, but I was sure a fucking punching bag from time to time. But I could tell you that that's what toughened me up because I'm also a tough soul.
Motherfucker, you told me your dad came in, karate kicked your shit for no reason?
You can't really break me. You'd have to kill me. There's no way of breaking me. I'm not afraid of no man and I'm not afraid of anybody.
Despite Ben's muscle mass acquired through steroid usage, he's not really a massive guy. He's in the lower 5-foot range. So it's not like he's some hulking behemoth that just scares everyone, despite what he would have you believe. In reality, he is a guy who preys upon minors and lies from a place of deep insecurity. He doesn't want you to just believe that he's some crazy good fighter. He also wants you to think that he's a rich businessman that's traveled the world, this Gatsby-like character.
I'm not afraid of God either. I love God. Whenever he's gonna
And how crazy do you have to be to have a story like this? This nigga committed to this. Like, everything he said, he probably gonna be like, that's true, it happened. I did fight the 2 pirates on top of the boat as I ran away from saving the princess from Bowser.
take me, I will go gladly. There's nothing here in this world that I haven't done. I've had it all. And that's also why I'm here telling you guys all of this. This is why I'm doing this. It's because I've had it all.
He in that same room
I've
Epstein
been all
got
around
interviewed
the
in.
world. I've seen probably every beautiful spot in the world, every vacation, every woman. I've tasted every kind of food. I've driven every kind of car. There's nothing that impresses me anymore. Today, everything that I do is for you guys. I don't do it for anybody else.
I can't say if I've ever seen him hit that cigar. He's got a lighter right next to him because it goes out all the time. It's legitimately just a prop. He's always ashing it, and half the time it's not even lit. This is all legitimately beat for beat a copy of Andrew Tate's shtick. But it's only
And this nigga human, bro. Y'all might know a nigga like this. A nigga who was willing to download a whole other nigga life and put it into himself. Like, hey, bro. The faithful sheriff. You know who you are, nigga. Y'all know who that is if y'all be on Instagram. Nigga. You may be one of the worst war crimes in modern U.S. history, bro.
Only gonna get worse from here. King Azule likes to do that thing where he insults his audience, almost to trying to bully them into supporting him, to make you think that your life is pathetic, and the only person who can save you is the king, who not only lives a lavish lifestyle, but is also the living embodiment of Bruce Wayne.
You need to become a man that people can fear, that they can sense his presence.
Like, this nigga got jumbo black cat tail around his neck. That cat in the hat tail, nigga.
Weakness as a man could ruin the relationships with the people you love and make you vulnerable enough to be taken advantage of. You are not in control of your life if you are a weak man. I was just like you when I was young, but there was a moment when I was 6 years old that turned my whole life around. I went from being a good boy to a complete savage, making millions of dollars a month.
Bro, let me let my chair up, bro. So let me get this straight, Brody. You was making millions at 7. Then you went to getting jumped by Mexicans. I would have beat your ass too if I was a Mexican, bro. You just be bullshit.
Respect from every single person next to me.
It almost has an air of occult brainwashing shit. Oh, your friends and family hate you. People talk over you. Hale-Bopp is coming. Eat this applesauce and put on these Nikes. That is how quick shit turns. So honestly, we should be thankful that Ben Azule is so incompetent in his attempts to brainwash people into thinking he's some kind of badass. He's really just a man that seems to have deep-seated father issues.
If your dad talked down to you, you're privileged. You know why? Because my dad was so difficult with me that at a very young age, I knew how to protect.
Nigga, I will grab you by your beard and punch you right in your mouth, bro. On some slight shit. Then I'd probably go heat me up some shit in the air fryer.
Protect myself. I knew karate from a very young age. I was a black belt by the time I was 10. Why? Because I was my dad's punching bag. You have to understand that.
Let me use a DS, nigga. Let me download some shit real quick, nigga. So let me get this straight. If you was making millions at 7, my nigga, 6, how was your dad beating your ass? Yo,
these
I love
kind
the
of
stories,
dads
bro.
Are extinct nowadays. They don't exist. Dads do not hit you. Dads do not talk down to you. And that's the reason you're weak. So if you had a dad like that, go thank him, because those dads don't exist anymore. And that's the reason men to
go thank him, and that nigga leave you on scene, or he leave you a thumbs up emoji.
They're weak. They're like iPhones. They fall and they break.
Like I said previously, this is the one part of Ben's tales that I actually believe. Not at all that I say I agree with him. I think what your father did to you, Ben, is a big reason why you are the way you are today. And that's not something you should thank him for. Ben's whole family seems to have problems, but we'll get there. For now, I want to talk about one of Ben's most infamous childhood stories. It involves a brick, a snake, and a neighbor boy.
For me, I didn't really get along with humans. The reason was, I didn't like how they would yell at each other, get upset, get...
Why are you saying they? You know what I'm saying? I don't like how you looking at me and you saying they. You was a lizard, nigga. Like, that's what you be. And we had to.
Serious.
Y'all listen to this nigga and let me know we gotta do this nigga. Cause right now I'm thinking we take this nigga to Mars and blow that bitch up in general. Blow up Mars with that nigga
and
on
feeling like I'm in my own oasis was hanging out with my animals, my pets. I didn't go buy pets. I would go find them. I would rescue them. And some of them I would bring from the forest behind my house.
What? How will you rescue the nigga that's kidnapped? You went out there and went and got a snake that was minding his business and took that little nigga. He probably seen a rat and was waiting to go eat that nigga, and you just came and fucked this old lion up.
And there were some dangerous animals. One day I found a snake, and that snake was a very large snake. Easily with one bite, I would have been dead. It was about 6-7 foot, black, dangerous, poison. But when I brought him back home...
Nigga, I am 6'4". You didn't just pick that nigga up like these, nigga. You don't have a Terraria pocket. You don't have the Minecraft or the game pocket.
My
Explain.
mom saw him. She kind of freaked out, but she knew that for some
Oh shit, son! You brought the 6'7" snake inside the house. Ah shit. Fuck. Ah fuck.
reason, me and the animals knew how to connect, and that snake was not gonna bite me. And I walked back to the forest. Right before I reached the forest, one of my neighbors, who was an 18-year-old boy, decided to yell at me. And when he came up to me, he pushed me and told me he wants to kill my snake. You could imagine, as a little boy, I wasn't strong enough to fight him. And that snake was not gonna bite me. And I walked back to the forest. Right before I reached the forest, one of my neighbors, who was an 18-year-old boy, decided to yell at me. And when he came up to me, he pushed me and told me he wants to kill my snake. You could imagine, as a little boy, I wasn't strong enough to fight him. And when he tossed me to the ground, he picked up a big rock, and as I was screaming, he smashed it over the head of the snake. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen a snake. When it gets hurt, the whole body starts shaking, moving around. It's the muscles. That's exactly how that snake was reacting. That was one of the reasons I didn't like people, because they didn't truly like my animals, and I just had a different connection with them.
You know, I was sitting here I was over here, what's a good word? Diminishing my brain so that I could picture myself hearing this shit if I was a stupid nigga. And when I hear him talk, I feel like I'm just hearing a nigga read a script. Like, I cannot imagine how dumb you have to be to fall for some shit like this.
So obviously screaming wasn't going to help, but something switched.
Matter of fact, not even script. This is ChatGPT. Yo, ChatGPT, give me a story.
There was a flip that switched in my mind that made me turn into a beast. It turned me into a fucking savage. And I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I couldn't stop thinking and having this picture of
Like, am I tripping, bro? Like, this nigga is...
my snake being killed right in front of me. So just a few days later, I decided to wait outside his house. I had a red brick in my hand, and when he was walking, I smashed it over his head. And when his head split open and he fell on the ground screaming, I smashed it again, and I smashed it again. And then I walked away as I threw the brick to the side.
This is where we
You gotta be the dumbest nigga to ever touch this earth. Listen, I want you to really sit here and imagine you was a stupid nigga you know.
Fell on the ground
Here,
screaming.
listen to this.
I smashed it again, and I smashed it again. And then I walked away.
The stupidest nigga you know. Do you think he believe this shit?
As I threw the brick to the side.
This is where we
And
start
if he do, stop hanging out with that nigga, bro.
getting into some of the more wild Ben Azule fight stories. Right there, he just claimed to nearly kill a boy with a brick over a snake. It's obviously all a lie, but the way he's so serious about the delivery of it all is comical. But like I just said, it only gets worse from there, because after he downed this kid with a brick, he now had a nickname in the streets.
But at that moment in time, I had a taste for blood, and it tasted good. It felt like power that I can't describe. I became unstoppable. From that moment on, I was no longer the boy that everybody remembered. I was now the warrior, that stone cold fucking killer. I didn't kill him, but I hurt him really fucking bad, to the point where he'll always remember me. Every time he'll look in the mirror, the back of his head, he'll see the stitches, the scar. He'll never forget me.
I really think that he convinced
Hey, bro, he would not be doing this unless there was a audience. You niggas is stupid. I don't know what else to
himself of his
say.
own lies as he's telling them. He has a very
Unless you
loose
only watch this
grasp
nigga
on
just
the
to laugh at him,
concepts that
you
he
don't.
claims to have mastered, usually giving the exact opposite of advice. Ben just blatantly lies to his audience and insults them to try and break them down with all the alpha male influencer tactics. Shit like you don't make enough money or that you're not nearly as great as your ancestors.
Do you remember how your dad used to talk about your grandpa being strong? And your grandpa used to talk to your dad about your great grandpa being strong and stronger
If you fall for bullshit like this too, nigga, I'm sorry.
and stronger and
You a fucking brick. Cause they niggas live their lives.
stronger, which means your
We
great
need
grandpa
bricks in the world,
was
bro.
super fucking
'Cause
strong.
without bricks, you
Your
can't build
grandpa
shit.
was also strong, but a little weaker. Your dad was also strong, but a little bit weaker. And you're a fucking bitch. What happened? Times changed.
Ben's never seen a single one of these people, but he's calling them all bitches. For all he knows, he could be speaking to Tom Platz and to Jeff Bezos. I think it brilliantly highlights the scam
Tom Platz. That's like one of them random ass fucking celebrities Family Guy be bringing up, but maybe I'm fucking tapped out.
that these kinds of guys are running. They make these broad statements, trying to prey upon people's insecurities. That way, if you stay insecure, well, you continue to need their help. You're dependent. Or if you're in their eyes fixed, you're a success story
pizza
who
place?
continues to need this help because it got you
No,
this far.
Platz.
And of course, business is scalable.
Oh,
The reality is that
bodybuilder,
most
y'all
of
wouldn't
these
know.
men are
Guys.
horribly insecure themselves. Now, I'm no doctor, but I really think that Ben suffers from body dysmorphia. His goal with attaining all of this muscle mass has not been for health, but for aesthetic. This, along with his deep-seated hatred of people who he sees as overweight, are all the evidence I need to see
He's so
that
tiny
he's
in that
projecting.
Rolls Royce.
I've seen girls who wear $15 dresses and look way sexier than a woman who wears a $10,000 dress but is fat as shit. Why? Because she's overweight
Who the fuck is fat as shit wearing a 10K dress? Show me the picture, bro.
and she doesn't fit the dress and nobody wants to look at her.
Ben is sitting here judging people for being unhealthy when he clearly has multiple addictions of his own. Just because you work out all the time doesn't mean you're healthy. It can mean the opposite if you take it too far like Ben has. During his fitness influencer days, I
Nah,
didn't
Ben
see any
low-key a chud,
cardio
bro.
or hardly any leg days. That, along with whatever else he's taken to achieve those body fat percentages, have most likely put an incredible strain on his body, much more than that of a person who might be a little overweight. Ben is like one of those guys from that King of the Hill episode where Bill
Bro,
gets
I still want to watch this episode, bro, because this shit's funny as shit. Like, I have not seen all the King of the Hill, but I'm going to do it.
swole. He thinks that his muscles make him cool, and above all else, intimidating. When he is in part correct, yes, he's making everyone uncomfortable, but not because he's scary, because he's practically begging for attention.
A lot of guys will take steroids and get really big, and then they sit next to me and they go, "You're fucking intimidating." Yeah. My last podcast, the guys all use steroids, and they go, "You're fucking intimidating us." And I'm like, why? All of you guys literally weigh more than me.
Right.
I'm 210 pounds, you guys are all 220 and up. So one of the guys, I think, was like 6'4".
Right.
I'm like, what's the deal?
Why you
Yeah.
sound like you about to cry, bro? Calm down, bro. We hear you, bro. We don't believe you, but we hear you.
Like, you're fucking scary. And every man that sits next to me will right away feel intimidated.
These podcasts are also very interesting to me. Tons of people do this, set up in a fake podcast environment to farm for shorts, acting like they are someone of knowledge or worth. Long gone are the days of Ty Lopez. This shit has changed rapidly. It's no longer about Lamborghinis and knowledge. It's about doing
how that shit go? My Lamborghini, some shit like
steroids
that.
and mind fucking your love interest.
A woman needs to be loved.
Knowledge.
We all know
There you
that.
go.
But a man needs to be respected. You'll hear a woman saying, "I'll give him respect when he deserves it." What? Did I ever say, "I'll give you love as soon as you deserve it"? You're not deserving of getting love? If a woman doesn't get love, she would literally jump off
I ain't
the
gonna lie, you talking too much. My brain's starting to fry, bro, because you saying bullshit. I know you wrote. What did you write on that board, nigga? Move the fuck out the way.
building.
This is from a video called 5 Traits That Will Get You Any Woman. Absolutely horrifying when you realize that Ben has been convicted of some terrible shit involving a minor. He does
gotta do
this
the
with
fucking
almost
GTA
every
storyline
aspect
shit.
of his content, comes at you from a position of authority on a subject that he nearly has no knowledge of. Most of these women you see in these videos or around him are paid, but Ben would have you believe it's because he's a king, a rags to riches fighter, basically a hero.
The doctor's telling me that my mom was going to die at the age of 15 and telling me that maybe she has a year left. That completely destroyed my world. I started getting into fights left and right in school. And eventually I left school because there was a gang that wanted to kill me. They came to the school after school and they did a drive-by. They wanted me gone. And that's how bad it was. My life completely
Only consistent thing he said so far.
got destroyed. I remember taking my mother to chemotherapy, walking with her to the doctor, going into the doctor's office. They'd have to pin her right here at the vein so they could put in the chemo.
Hey,
And
I ain't
she'd
gonna lie.
always swell
Can we go past this, bro? Like, you bullshitting in my ear, bro, and it's really hard for me to listen to you and focus, bro.
up and get purple and black. And her hair started falling out and her teeth started deteriorating and her eyesight started going away. I'm here for the people that need someone to take them and empower them and show them the way. Because I've been through the hard times. I've been homeless. I've been in jail. I've almost lost my mother. I've been in battles. I've been in war.
Nigga, I thought you said your mom only had 1 year.
And now I'm here. I've had motorcycle accidents, car accidents. People stab me. People shoot at me. But I'm here. And I'm here to make a difference. And I'm here to help you guys.
If any of this is true, where are the scars, Ben? If you've been in all these fights, if you've suffered from all these attacks,
he got good
where are
skin.
the scars? I don't even know why I'm entertaining this. It's so obvious that it's all a lie. But Ben doesn't just lie about his fitness or his criminal past. He also really likes to lie about business. From being rich to his involvement in more shady aspects of the business
Nigga, I
world.
want to hear about him
He
being
was
Diddy,
lying
bro. Cause
back
how did
and
niggas
forth.
figure out about him
He
being
was
Diddy?
lying to everybody, but I never thought he would lie to me. You have to understand, me coming out of jail, I wasn't such an easy guy. He knew I could break his face. He knew I could also break his legs. But for some reason, he got so comfortable with me that he believed that he could take some, and as long as I still make good money, it's completely fine.
Who are we talking
Within
about?
a year and a half, I then come to realize that he stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from me. And that's when I started thinking, what am I gonna do to him? You know, for a second, when you love somebody so much and you care about them so much, your first thought is, I'm gonna kill him. He betrayed me this way, he must go. That's
I don't think English is your first language and you're having some translation issues.
what you first think about. So when I talked to him over the phone and told him that I found out, he said, please don't kill me. And when I actually thought about the fact that I wanted to kill him, I also thought about the fact that I would never do that. I sat there the whole day to be able to get a loan and to put money down. Man, it was amazing. It felt so amazing to know that now he will see me driving that car. I didn't care about people seeing me drive that
Oh my days, fam. Man, them then topped off. What are you talking about? I had to pause at 2K my career because I really can't listen to you. But when I start listening to you, I realized, dude,
car. I wanted him.
you
see
ain't about to
drive
you ain't
that
about to make me
car.
mad.
So I
nigga.
got the car.
Fuck you.
After a very long day at the dealer, I got the car. And I remember I was driving it on the freeway, leaving Calabasas, back towards where I live. I lived in Woodland Hills at the time. And man, I felt like a god. I had my windows down. Every single person that was driving by was looking at me. If I waved at somebody, they waved at me. Felt like the president. Hey, what's going on?
The president
Green,
of the
nigga.
United States just arrived.
You're still talking.
Ben claims to be this super successful businessman, but hardly ever describes what kinds of businesses he's involved in. I think I've heard a little bit of talk about real estate, but that's basically it. So guys, not only is he a totally legit mixed martial artist who's a master of many of those crafts, he's also
Boy, he has a Superman tat. You were the last thing to know martial arts, boy.
multi-millionaire
You more of
who's
a
been
pro.
there, done that.
But at some point, I got out of control. When I managed to start controlling the person that I was, I started to make money. And within very
Well, you said you was making millions at 6. Did you not? Hey,
quick time. I mean, once I started making $5 grand a month, which was at the time that I was 18, and then at 19, I was already making like 30K a month. By the time I was 20, I was
did this nigga not say he was making 6 or 7 million or millions at 6?
making 50K a month. And it just went on and on and on and on. And at the age of 24, I retired. Because I've done all the investments I needed just to sit around, enjoy life, go travel the world. And for 8 years, that's what I've been doing. And when I say I've seen it all, I've seen it all. There's nothing that could impress me.
He's always talking about his experience in jail and how it hardened him into a businessman. But he's always lying about why he went to jail. I've already told you the reason why, but even before that was revealed, the signs were there.
And I support the Tate brothers 110%. And I'm with them all the way. And I will become influential enough that the whole world will listen to me. And understand that these boys had nothing to do with what they're accusing them of doing.
That
And let
nigga
me
was
tell
a
you
he was a
exactly
top
the
buyer.
reason
This nigga was a top buyer.
why they arrested them. When Tate said that he was coming out with his own bank, I knew that they were gonna get arrested.
He stole Andrew Tate's grift beat for beat. The cigar, the black t-shirt, the glasses, the constant
missed 2
insults
shots.
against the audience.
Promise yourself something. You promised yourself that you were gonna make a change. You see, people like me, if I'm supposed to wake up at 4 a.m. and I wake up at 4:30, I'm upset with myself for the rest of the day. Why? Because I lied to myself. I gave up on myself. I betrayed myself.
To King Azule, wealth is something that sets him above other people, but it's not enough to just fake being rich. He's also got to make it a rags to riches story.
All right, guys, and now I'm gonna show you where I took the first apartment. This right here is in Reseda, California. As you
Yeah.
guys could see, this is the apartment building.
Yeah.
Villa
Anyways, bro.
Royale. Now, the grass wasn't as nice. None of this was like this, but if you look around, let me show you. So these are the apartment buildings around here. It's practically the only ghetto that is probably left here in Reseda area. Some of these streets, you know. They're all been kind of gentrified, but the spot is still here. And this was where my home was. One gentrified here in Reseda area. Some of these streets, you know, they're all been kind of gentrified, but the spot is still here. Some of these streets, you know, they're all been kind of gentrified in Reseda area. Some of these streets, you know, they're all been kind of gentrified, but the spot, the story is very short and absolutely devastating.
Hey, I
moved
just
in
made a
here,
three-pointer
didn't
in my
have a
career,
penny
by
to
the
my
way,
name.
bro.
I rented it
greened
from
up.
a lady who practically gave me the place with
I'm
no
not
money
about,
down
I'm
and
not,
told me
I'm
that
not
she
gonna fool with this nigga, bro. I'm not about to fool with you, bro.
will let me pay at the end of the month. I had $300 to my name. The rent here was $690. So you could kind of get an idea how cheap it was and what kind of living it was. The apartment was very, very shitty. It was absolutely disgusting. The toilet, everything. But for me coming out of jail, getting my first apartment, it was probably better than anything I could ever ask for, right?
I've seen a lot in my time on the internet. A man in a very much intimate relationship with plushy animals. A woman who claimed to be disabled but lifted a car off of the train tracks. And a chome who never seems to learn his lesson. But what I haven't seen until this day is someone painting themselves as some kind of fictional hero. If King Azule had done half of this shit, he would already have a movie written about him. What's even crazier to me is how he thinks anyone believes this. But I guess I'm the idiot because people have actually bought into this shit.
That's what I'm saying.
I know that this is
It's not even your fault, bro. Some niggas just live it, bro. Not every nigga is real in here.
gonna come as a shock to absolutely no one, but of course Ben sells a course. I'm not gonna get too bogged down in the details of it, because it's basically just like Ben's content. Except this time you pay him hundreds of dollars to discuss business and how not to
Boy,
be a
you just said
bitch.
$100 if you... Hey, it's over with. Because if you're willing to pay this nigga $100 to lie to you, I can do it to you for 14. I just had a brain fart. Because I'm still trying to process the fact that niggas is really paying a nigga who just told me he was making millions at 6, that he was struggling at 19.
Ben trying to give advice on any of these fronts is comical.
Like,
I've
I knew this
seen
nigga was a bullshitter, but I didn't know his story was this deep.
no proof of him running a successful business besides this course. Despite his muscle, he is horribly unhealthy. People are coming to Ben, leaving worse than when they came, and broker than when they came. It's just like what the Tate brothers did, selling the idea of brotherhood and wealth creation to a bunch of young men who felt lost, all the while bending them over the barrel ideologically and for profit. Just like the Tate courses, all of Ben's advice is awful, especially in regards to business and women. I can say with the utmost certainty that the
One of y'all
only
niggas pay for that
reason
shit
the
if I can
girls
see it.
around people like this put up with it is because they're rich. But the Tates of the world would have you believe it's because they're so goddamn smart and handsome. But to my knowledge, Ben isn't even rich. These houses and cars you see him in
He be
are
renting that shit.
rented. The women you see on his show and
Rented.
in his videos are paid or already have close ties with Ben. He says that he's been around the world, ate beautiful food, and been with every kind of woman. But the only woman I hear him telling comprehensive stories about is his mother. And even then, the stories are so outlandish that I don't even think they're true.
My mother today is still alive, and this is 20 years later. We're not talking about a day or two or a year.
Hey, niggas just put
20
me on the
years
bench.
later, we got her teeth redone, brand new veneers. I got her brand new eyesight. I paid for her to get her eyesight back. I paid for some surgeries to get herself reconstructed because both breasts were removed and she pretty much had no breast. And even when she redid her breast, reconstruct her breast, it still looked bad. So I paid to some of the top doctors to take care of her and to reconstruct her breast so she could feel like a woman again.
The only thing is, at the age of 17, because I was a troublemaker and I was fighting all the time, everywhere. When my mom got cancer and the doctors told us that she might not make it, I said to the doctors, if she doesn't make it, we're all not going to make it. And he looked at me and he said, "You're threatening me?" I said, "No, I'm literally threatening the whole world. Everybody's going down with my mom. We're all not going to make it." Thank God my mom made it.
In my short experience so far on this plane of existence, I've learned one thing: to rarely trust a man with an overgrown pinky nail. Maybe I've just seen
Nigga,
too
wait,
much
hold on,
bigly
nigga.
trust a man on this.
Thank God my mom made it.
In my short experience
seen this
so
pinky
far
nail at?
on this plane of existence, I've learned one thing: to rarely trust a man with an overgrown pinky nail. Maybe I've just seen too much Big Trouble Little China, but I can't think of a single human being that had one and ended up being a good guy. Besides my deep mistrust of men with pinky nails that are long, there's also more to analyze with that previous clip. Ben basically says that he restored his mother's eyesight after she lost it due to cancer. Along with restoring some other stuff, I don't know if I would have gone that into detail about it, Ben. It kind of comes off like you're looking at them and you just didn't like the way they came out the first time. I don't know, pretty weird stuff. But I've got to watch my tongue because we're talking about a criminal here, a seasoned mobster and a fighter with deep connections to criminal organizations.
They wanted to go back to Israel, so we went back. One of the biggest reasons we went back was some of my family members were kidnapped by Pablo Escobar.
Oh my God. Say that one more time. I know, I need the whole thing.
One of the biggest reasons we went back was
I want niggas to know where he went for this situation.
the biggest reasons we went. They wanted to go back to Israel, so we went back. One of the biggest reasons we went back was some of my family members were kidnapped by Pablo Escobar.
Now, when you hear that, what the fuck is going to Tel Aviv gonna do for your fam, nigga? You ran off on them niggas?
And one ended up getting murdered, and the other one was released. There were two brothers. One brother was found that he was stealing from Pablo and told him that the Beverly Hills Police Department took some of the drugs, and Pablo didn't believe it, so he checked into it.
For someone who is supposedly a hardened
I am astonished. I am astonished. Because I'm not about to sit here and argue with you.
criminal,
I'm not about to
he
sit here
talks
and
a
argue with
lot
this
about
nigga.
his supposed crimes, never the
I'm gonna play
legitimate
2K,
ones.
bro.
Ben likes to paint himself as some kind of guy who escaped the underworld. Yet another cheap imitation of Andrew Tate who has known ties to
I don't even wanna
mobsters,
play
most
this
likely
shit.
due to his experience in kickboxing. And wouldn't you know, Ben also got up to stuff like that, participating in underground pit fights, eventually brutalizing so many men that he was hand-picked to join the mob.
Nigga, are you still telling this nigga stories?
Something that I did leave out and I'm not talking about is that I had family members that were big gangsters, and I really wanted to be in that world because I was fighting and, people were respecting me. I then went into the world of doing underground fights. And doing underground fights was amazing for me because I fought people that were much older than me. I was 16 years old, but I was making about $2,000 to $3,000 a fight. I got my ass kicked one time in my life. I was 13 years old. I got jumped by about 30 guys outside of a house party. After that, I purchased an Uzi.
You about to rage bait.
Nobody ever. I purchased an Uzi.
Yeah, I thought I heard that shit correct. Let's share the story one more time.
By about 30 guys. In my life, I was 13 years old. I got jumped by about 30 guys outside of a house party. After that, I purchased an Uzi.
Yeah. You fuck up my head so much, I can't even think of jokes to tell about you.
Nobody ever jumped
He
me
gonna
again.
make me mad.
Nobody ever said anything again. I was ready to die, and I was ready to take everybody with me. And there was a group of guys, and I used to look at people to see if they're looking at me. I thought everybody
Like, I
was.
don't think you niggas realize how stupid a nigga we gotta be to say some shit like this.
Against me. So I got into it with some of these guys, and I ended up beating the fuck out of 6 of them. They were all older than me. A guy pulls out a gun and tells me to stop. I look at him and I say, shoot me. That was the time my mom got cancer. I wanted to die. And he goes, I'm not gonna shoot you, what's your name? And I said, what the fuck are you to ask me my name? I said, shoot me. He said, no. I want you to be one of us. And we got in a conversation, and when he found out I was 15, he was shocked. I'm not gonna mention his name, but we're talking somebody from the mob. And I started doing underground fights for him. I also was his bodyguard for a while.
Now, Ben would have you believe that due to all this
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think I'm done, bro. I don't know if I got the mental power to make it through this.
criminal activity, he got himself in some trouble, becoming homeless and having to sleep under trees after a stint in prison, a time that he claims to remember fondly.
So life wasn't so simple for me. Had a lot of hard times, difficult times, stressful times, but I could tell you that that place made me this man because it changed me. It turns you from a child into a real man, and possibly also a beast. Of course, some of the people in there are fucking weak, but if you have the heart and the soul of a warrior, and you say, this is only going to be temporarily. When I come out of here, I'm never coming back here.
One of the few things that Ben isn't lying about is going to jail. We knew now that it was due to inappropriate behavior with a minor, but whenever Ben would go on these no-name podcasts, he claimed it was for a completely different reason. Can you take a wild guess?
And then I continued to become a troublemaker because money wasn't really good. Then I was making like $7 an hour with this guy. So I left very shortly after. And eventually I ended up going to jail. When I went to jail, I did my 19th birthday in jail from 18 to 19.
What did you do to go to jail?
So I did a lot of things.
But what was the one thing that they got you for?
So the one thing that they got me for was fighting really bad in the middle of the street, and it was horrible. It was really bad.
That shit sounds like a lie. Like, does that not sound like a lie to you? Like, listen to this.
You for?
So the one thing that they got me for was fighting really bad in the middle of the street, and it was horrible.
So niggas is like, oh yeah, we hear about you for fighting really bad in the middle of the street. You will be doing, I don't know how long it is. So the joke dies there.
Really bad. Some guy really got hurt.
Ben Azoulay would have you believe that he went to prison for crimes of a mafia-like nature. But the reality is that he is a predator with a long history of using other people, particularly minors. In the early 2000s, Ben and his brother were having a party at their parents' house. They then plied a 15-year-old girl with alcohol and drugs. And Ben, his brother, as well as one of their friends, took turns doing some of the most unspeakable things to this girl. I'd also like to add that it was pretty violent. The girl suffered numerous injuries. If you want all the details, I highly recommend John Bravo's video on it. He's the one that broke all of this in the first place. But our story's not over yet. Ben's parents would return home, seeing the party and doing nothing to stop it. But the victim would file charges and police would come to arrest
Nigga, you sitting up.
Ben and Dylan Azoulay, along with their friend Mayor. But Ben would have you believe that his time in prison was because he's such a badass, or that he's totally innocent of a crime that he was convicted of.
And I got arrested for something that they said that I did, and I didn't do it. And when I got out all clean after I spent a little bit of time in jail, I said, I'm never coming back here again.
Maybe there was a few that didn't say this. Maybe I didn't know them long enough. But they all said that they've gotten raped. Every single woman. Oh, this guy raped me at a party. Oh, this guy raped me here. This guy raped me there. It almost felt like it was a trend. Because the truth is, they want to victimize themselves and say, this happened to me. It's not true. A lot of
That's woman, you can't nod your head on that. You can't just nod your head on that. You can't do that.
it is in their head.
Yeah.
but they want to give a story so people will feel bad for them. They're coming from a bad place instead of coming from a place of power.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
own it.
The signs of Ben having a dark past were certainly there. His adamant support of the Tate brothers, and previous comments like you just heard, were already more than enough proof that this guy was a scumbag as well as a creep. But as I previously stated, we would not know about the other stuff involving the 15-year-old girl until it was broke by YouTuber Johnny Bravo. And apparently the only reason that he was able to pull up this information in the first place, because there was also a civil lawsuit to go with the criminal case. The victim wanted to hold Ben and his family financially responsible, and apparently Ben's parents tried to pass the bill off to the home insurance company. The insurance company, of course, wasn't just going to take this lying down, and that's what led to all these files going public. It seems that Ben and his family did settle with the victim, but this was multiple years after the charges were filed. So Ben fancies himself as this Andrew Tate-like figure, but John Bravo just exposed that he was a horrible predator. So how is someone with that caliber of narcissism gonna respond to all of this? Well, first, he threatens Johnny and challenges him to a cage fight. And then he has the audacity to demand an apology from his victim.
I feel bad for H. H had a very fucked up childhood with some fucked up parents. And H, if you're watching this, I would love for you to apologize to me and to my brother, because you know nothing ever happened to you. And it's very sad that me and my brother and my whole family had to go through this. And if H, if you ever want to give us a call, you ever want to message me, I messaged you on Facebook saying I just want closure for this.
All of this did end up making Ben viral.
Do not
just
respond. Do
not
not respond to that nigga. Do not respond to that.
at all in the way he expected.
Don't listen to me.
Dozens of videos were made about his actions
Just know I'm just gonna
and
green bean
terrible
on 2K,
advice,
nigga.
along with all the blatant lies. In a way, he got this twisted version of what he always wanted, people's attention, but it's not positive in any manner. All you have to do is look at the comments under any of his new social media posts. 95% of them are ripping on him, and almost all of the clips of him that have blown up online are from other people making fun of him. I don't know how much longer he'll last at this. Everything I just mentioned seems to get worse by the day, because whatever little truth
Yo,
we
does he
can
have a
pick out
BBL beard? Like, I see the end of his beard right here.
about Ben Azoulay has shown to be absolutely rotten.
Thank
He is
God
the
that shit over with. Catch up, boys, man. That's a nasty nigga. Y'all boys still.